Today, the world is once again witnessing how global security threats cross national borders. In a significant military development, the United States has launched airstrikes against Islamic State targets in Nigeria. This operation marks a new phase in the fight against extremist groups in West Africa, a region that has suffered years of violence, instability, and humanitarian crises. But why Nigeria? Why now? And what does this mean for regional and global security? In this video, we will break down what happened, who was involved, and what consequences these strikes may bring.
Nigeria is Africa's most populous country and one of its largest economies. Located in West Africa, it plays a key role in regional stability. However, for more than a decade, Nigeria has struggled with violent extremist groups operating mainly in its northeastern regions. The country's vast territory, porous borders, and ongoing social challenges have created conditions where militant organizations can survive and grow.
Islamic State in Nigeria is often referred to as ISWAP, the Islamic State West Africa Province. It emerged after a split within Boko Haram, one of the region's most notorious terrorist groups. ISWAP pledged allegiance to ISIS and has since carried out attacks against military bases, civilians, and humanitarian workers. Their tactics include ambushes, kidnappings, and coordinated assaults designed to destabilize the region and spread fear.
According to official statements, U.S. forces conducted precision airstrikes targeting Islamic State positions in Nigeria. The strikes were aimed at disrupting operational leadership, logistics hubs, and militant training camps. U.S. officials stated that the operation was carried out in coordination with regional partners and focused on minimizing civilian harm. While exact details remain classified, the Pentagon described the mission as successful. The United States has long viewed Islamic State affiliates as a global threat. Even when operating far from the Middle East, these groups maintain ideological and sometimes operational ties to ISIS leadership. U.S. involvement is part of a broader strategy: prevent terrorist organizations from gaining safe havens and attacking international interests. Nigeria's instability has implications far beyond Africa, affecting global security, trade, and migration. The Nigerian government has repeatedly welcomed international support in its fight against terrorism. Local forces have faced years of combat, often under difficult conditions and with limited resources. Officials emphasize that cooperation with allies strengthens intelligence sharing and improves counter-terrorism effectiveness. However, Nigeria also stresses its sovereignty and leadership in securing its own territory. For civilians living in conflict zones, every military action carries risks. Millions of Nigerians have already been displaced due to extremist violence. Human rights organizations urge transparency, caution, and accountability to prevent civilian casualties and further displacement. The humanitarian situation remains fragile, with food insecurity and limited access to basic services. These strikes may influence security dynamics across West Africa. Neighboring countries face similar threats, and extremist groups often move across borders. International observers warn that military action must be combined with economic development, education, and governance reforms to achieve long-term peace.
The future remains uncertain. While airstrikes can weaken extremist networks, they rarely eliminate them entirely. Experts agree that sustained cooperation between Nigeria, regional allies, and international partners is essential. The coming weeks will reveal whether these strikes significantly disrupt Islamic State operations in the region. Today's U.S. strikes in Nigeria highlight a hard truth. Terrorism is a global challenge requiring global attention. Military force may slow extremist expansion, but peace demands more than weapons. As the world watches, the hope remains that stability, security, and opportunity will eventually replace fear and violence in Nigeria and beyond. Thank you for watching.